If you grew up without a father, how do you learn how to be a father? That was the question I've asked myself over the years. My father was in my life for a very few years. I can remember a couple of moments with my father. One was at 7 years old, he took me and signed me up for football. And I can remember putting the helmet on, and the helmet was so big that he could literally take it by the face mask and turn it all the way around my head. I don't know why, at 57 years old, that's one of the most vivid memories I have with my father. But over the years, my relationship with my father was pretty much non-existent. But I don't blame him for him not being there. But as a kid, I did. And the reason I did was I was a kid. I mean, who as a kid doesn't want their father? I mean, I think we would all want our father. My dad was an alcoholic, and that pretty much controlled his entire life. My dad was in the military, and I can remember at 5 years old, us getting on the plane and going to Honolulu, Hawaii, where my dad was stationed at Schofield Barracks in Honolulu, Hawaii. I can remember staying on the military base, and I can remember walking to school. My mom would take me so far, and then she would just let me walk the rest of the way. I was 5 years old. That was a different world back then. But you know something? By the time I was 8 years old, my father was gone. The alcoholism had really taken him, and he had made decisions that did not include my mother, my brother, my sister, or me. So now you got a mother with 3 little kids coming all the way back to Florida without her husband, and me without a dad. And that's where life changed for us. And it changed for me, because I didn't have him in my life to teach me the basic things you need to learn in this life. I had to basically get out there and learn those basic things that you would hope a father would teach his son. I had to learn those things on my own and really didn't have any role models. Now, of course, my mother was my role model, but I'm saying when I didn't have role models, I'm talking about from a male perspective, specifically from my dad. I didn't want any male. I wanted my dad, but he wasn't there. And I missed critical things I could have learned from him that would have helped me when I became a father. Ultimately, I did become a father at the age of 17. Yeah, guys, that's right. But see, in my opinion, that's one of the things you would learn from your father. You would learn how to not be so aggressive when it comes to the feelings that you're feeling about these young women that you're seeing every day. You would be able to go to dad and have that conversation. Dad, hey man, I'm feeling something like this about this young lady that I know. Help me with that. How do I know I'm not ready to, still a kid. I don't want to be a father. Help me. Walk me through this. But of course I didn't have that because my father wasn't around. So at 17, I'm a father. Didn't know anything about being a father. I was still a kid myself. And I wish I could have had my dad to lean on to help me through some of that. But he wasn't there. He was fighting his own battles. He was fighting his own battles. So now I'm 17 and I got this baby girl. I didn't know what to do, guys. I didn't know how to be a father. I wasn't mature enough. I just wasn't, I didn't have the tools that I needed. My daughter, my oldest daughter, her and I have a great relationship today. But I did a lot of things wrong early on in her life. I did a lot of things wrong. And again, I'm not blaming my father for that, guys. I'm not. All I'm saying is it would have been nice if I could have had a father there to be able to learn from. So, 17 years old, with a child, headed to college, hopefully, because that was my goal, right? My goal was play football, get this scholarship, get to college. And that happened. And of course, my dad wasn't there to walk me through that either. Because see, I come from a little small town here in Florida and I had never been anywhere. I was 18 years old and had never been really anywhere outside of where I lived. And now I'm getting ready to go to the University of Florida on a full football scholarship. And I still didn't know how to be a man. I still wasn't a man. I still was a boy. And I didn't have him there to say, come on, son, let's jump in the car. Let me take you up here and let's get you settled in. I didn't have that. But I did have my mother. And she did the best she could. She took me to the Greyhound bus station. 18 years old. One duffel bag. And put me on that Greyhound bus to take me to Gainesville, Florida. All through college, again, father wasn't there. My mother was there, but my father wasn't. But prior to going to college, I had a girlfriend. She was going to stay back in our hometown. I was going to go ahead and go conquer the world at the University of Florida. I've already got one kid, right? That I didn't know how to be a father, to be honest with you guys. I didn't know, couldn't take care of her because I didn't have a job. I didn't know how to be a father. I was 17, 18, something like that. Didn't know how to be a father, but I had this girlfriend and her and I had been together for a few years through high school. And I went off to college, but I was so heartbroken. I was like, yeah, let me I try to get back home every time I could. Let me get married. Again, didn't have a father there to say, hey, boy, hey, now you need to go out here and be able to take care of a wife, a child. You need to just focus on college, graduate first, then revisit this idea. In that marriage, I had two more daughters. By the time I was a senior, I had gotten a divorce. And I had 3 little girls, very small. I'm 23 years old, just getting out of the divorce. Still don't know how to be a man, never really learned how, because the stuff I was doing was not really being a man. It was still being a boy. So there's a difference between a man and a boy. And I was still a 23-year-old boy. I wasn't a man yet. I didn't know how to be a man because I'd never had seen it modeled. And again, I'm not putting the blame on my father. All I'm saying is, I wish he would have been there to help me through it. And I struggle with that even till today. But here's the saving grace. I learned how to be a man. I learned how to be a man. And I did that through trial and error, learning from my mistakes. So let's fast forward. I'm done playing in the NFL. I'm 26 years old. Boom, I'm back home. Those 3 little girls are there. I dive right in. And from 26 to now, I've tried to make them proud of me. And along the way, I had my fourth daughter. Well, I didn't have her, but my ex-wife had her. Now I have 4 daughters, and they're grown. My last one is 18. And I got to tell you, I have a great relationship with all of my daughters, especially the younger one, because she came along at around 39 years old, and I was a man by that time. So she got the benefit of a real father, a provider, someone who can protect her, someone who can listen to her, someone who can be there for her, who can root for her, who can tell her it's going to be okay. My other 3 daughters, they got it now, but they didn't get that. And that is pretty painful. But I know they love me and I love them. I just wish I could have been a complete father for my 3 older daughters. And again, I don't blame my dad. He was struggling, man, with his own demons. I love him. And he'll always be my dad. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what you've went through. If it was a good experience, bad experience with your father, drop it down in the comments. Let me know how you were able to get yourself to where you're a functioning, full man, father. It took me a while, but I finally got there. Thank God for that. If you stopped by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing. Share the video. Smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness and never stop believing in yourself.